What's happening, YouTube? Thanks for stopping back by the channel today, right here with the Rustbelt Mechanic. Today we're trying out a new camera that I've got going on here, so bear with me. I'm trying to not shake you around too much, but we're going to be looking at my toolbox today. I've had quite a few people wanting to have an in-depth look at it, so we're going to do a nice toolbox tour of my Master Series. Let's get into having a look at it. Here it is, guys. My Master Series, a couple of add-ons, got the power drawer, and also has the locker and riser. A couple neat little vinyl add-ons. Let's start by having a look here in my locker. Open that up. Got a lot of my little things, my sprays, paints, lubricants, caliper spray. Up top we've got all my oils. Down here we've got one of my little pickup scanners, something for just scanning little things. Alright. This, if anybody doesn't know, this is the best stuff for cleaning and waxing my toolbox. I know a lot of guys, they're just like, oh, a toolbox is a toolbox. No, this is more like a car to me, and this stuff works amazing. Lucas Slick Mist. Easy for quick cleans up and everything like that. A couple of bushings, pads for cabinets. Back there I've got an AC dye test and an oil pressure gauge tester. More fluids for days. Actually, the thing I forgot about is I do have a light for in here too. Well, it's for the sides, but it'll help out a little bit. I put the neon light, or the LED lights in the side rails. And then, if anybody hasn't seen that video of my LEDs, you need to go check that one out too. I'll put a link up here to it. Certifications. I've got all my little electrical test parts, switches, panels, horns, terminal tools, all that kinds of cool stuff. I work on a lot of conversion bands, so I have to have a lot of little extra test parts here and there. All my electrical switches, some older switches, Windows stuff, coils, random switches, lug nuts, a little bit for every kind and size, all your spline drive stuff, the lug nut removal kit for the ones that are all, you know, rounded off. Those things are a godsend. And then all my terminals. So in a lot of the Chrysler and GM world, the terminal kits sometimes are really hard to get a hold of. So these terminal repin kits are something that you really need to have. So I've got probably 50 to 100 different kinds there, little harnesses. Those things are awesome to have. Old school stuff. This is for our scan tool, old school timing light, some books, random odds and ends. So that's the locker. We'll get the riser opened. So as we look in here, as my video was showed before, LED switch is up there, and then up top is where I have all of my LEDs strewn out there. And then get a good look at that quick little diagnostic worksheet for those people who really don't know how to diagnose. There it is. Throw a dart, got it right. A lot of my air tools and electric tools, they didn't really fit in my power cabinet, so I needed an extra thing here. This is one of my favorite little tools that not very many people have. Riveter hydraulic. That's a pretty awesome tool to have right there. Look through there. Alright, first drawer is always the junk drawer. Random junk, mess, whatever else. I put my magnets in here. Little turbo whistle from my diesel crate. Alright, all my little feeler gauges, my torches. I use that one just for the shrink tube. I use this one for actual soldering, the bigger one. That one works really nice from Snap-on. RTV, gasket sealers, some touch-up paint, batteries, and all my AC O-rings and caps. This is my electrical drawer. Now when I go for my Epic, I'm going to be moving this into a bigger drawer because this just drives me nuts. Most of the stuff that I use is right here in front. Little things, test lead, relay testers, my multimeter, test lights, stuff that gets used every single day. Fuses, wiring, fuses, bulbs. You get the idea, but it's a mess and it bugs the shit out of me. Hammers. I've got 2 of the Dead Blow Snap-ons. Those things are awesome. If anybody hasn't had a set of these compared to these just old standard hammers, these things are amazing. I have a 16 ounce and I believe a 40 ounce. Yep, 40 ounce and a rubber mallet. So when you gotta be a little lighter with things, this thing's garbage. Foam. Who makes a foam hammer? I don't know why I have it. It takes up space. Pry bars, lady fingers. I'm missing a couple lady fingers. I know I am. Files. I had some of them out, so that drawer's a little skimpy. Bits. I got all my. I just picked these up last week. These are my extended long bits. Something everybody needs, especially for doing dash work and panels around steering wheels. Drill bits. More drill bits. And for anybody who does not have, I have it sitting out here, is the Drill Doctor, which usually goes in there too. If nobody's used one of these Drill Doctors before, they need to get one of these. It saves you so much money in drill bits. Trying to get them warrantied out through Snap-on doesn't work, and this thing saves them time and time again. Back over here, that was that drawer. And some Diagnostic Tools. We got compression gauge set, other holder, coolant pressure gauges. That is my dial gauge. More bits, extra bits. Ooh, here's one tool I'd like to point out. For guys that do Fords every once in a while, the broken spark plug remover for a Ford 3 valve. This is the one tool I will not buy a Snap-on. This Lyle tool works 100 times better. Actually works. Unlike the Snap-on version, which never ever works. Vacuum testers, brake compressors, brake testers, flare fittings, harmonic balancer pullers, you know, general cases of junk. So there that is. Now moving to big drawers. So start over here on the right, we've got all of my Snap-on ratchets. I do not have anything other than Snap-on ratchets. They are the best. They cost the best price, but they're the best for a reason. They don't break. They don't have issues with them. As everybody's seen before, my custom grip on that 3/8 locking flex head. I just picked these up this last week. This was a couple of sets, the 3/8 and 1/4 inch of the extensions that are the Wobble Plus. If nobody's tried these out, these are amazing as well. I think last week or 2 weeks ago I picked these up. They ran a sale on these. I believe it was like $120 for the 1/4 inch and like $138 or $140 for the 3/8 in my region. I live in Ohio. Impact sockets. The most used sockets I ever use, impact swivels. I wish we had a better case for them. I'm sure they come with a better one, but this is what I have. It's kind of a pain in the butt. 1/4 inch swivels, the most stupidest, expensive, most lost sockets ever, especially the 8 and 10 there. Those of which respectively cost like $53 frickin' dollars. God, I love to hate Snap-on, but there they are. Metric standard, 3/8 chromes. Got the chrome 3/8 swivels back here, the smaller ones, because those work really nice for behind hubs, especially on GM behind hubs. They don't give you much room between. Got the Allen set, standard and metric. 1/2-inch stuff, standards. My big sockets, a couple of bigger 3/4 inch drive stuff there in the back for the ProMasters and 3500s, the big axle nuts. And then a couple of other random extensions, 1/2-inch ones. Torque sticks, also must have. Oil filter wrench. These are off-brand, but yeah, there they are. On down to screwdrivers, etc. drawer. This set of screwdrivers I have had since day one, back in 2007. They have always been awesome. I've only ever replaced this one handle one time. A couple of tips, as of course, you know, most of us technicians don't like to use flathead screwdrivers for flathead screws, because who has flathead screws anymore? Nobody. A couple of the picks, the trim pry tool, the fork for doing trim, and those push pins. Got the small screwdriver set, small pick set. Those work awesome. I think this next week I'm going to pick up myself the long pick set, especially for doing transmissions way down in there. It gets kind of, you know, worrisome using the small ones and those little hook picks there every once in a while. Torques, random oil change, band stuff, doing the rear brake tools. This is another really cool thing. It's just a little seal puller, but on a slide hammer. That thing works great for doing pinion seals and other random transmission seals. I just picked these up about 2 weeks ago. Long screwdriver set, also awesome for doing transmission work. The rings that sit way down inside of the cases, they work great for. This is probably one of the oldest tools. I want to point this one out. One of the Impact. This used to be my father's, back from like 1960s, somewhere around there. Still in its case. I'm gonna keep it there too. Going down to the Pliers drawer. Pliers, and more Pliers. It was taking up too much room, so I had to get a rack over here. I guess I could get more racks to hold more of these smaller ones back here in the back. But they look nice where they're at. Picked this one up a couple weeks ago for doing alignments. This one, the part number PWZ20, that one is tits for doing a whole bunch of the front ends on Jeep Wranglers and the 2500 trucks. Getting those big rusty, crusty junk set free. All more of my old school crescents back here. Vice grips from the 1960s and 70s, I'm sure. Stuff that I don't use very often, but it's nice when I do have them. And then the remote pliers. Everybody always asks me, this is the other one I wanted to point out. Standard adjustable wrench, right? Well, this used to be one of the Black & Decker ones that had a button to it. You'd be able to push the button, and it had a little motor unit in here, batteries and wiring. That all went junk, and I'm like, boy, took that apart. That thing's cat's ass. Really light, goes to a pretty large size. I use that, and everybody says, what the hell? There it is. Keep going down in the middle. This one's, I had a bunch of other shit in here, but this is what it's here now. Just my air tools, stuff for taking air levels down, just a reducer. All my other chisels for my air hammer, air tools. Another drawer that needs to be in a bigger drawer because everything's just piled on top of each other is my wrench drawer. These are so much better than gear wrench. The Blue Point ratcheting wrench. They ratchet. You can choose your directions there. Does 8 through 19 in that set. I recommend everyone needs to have that set. Most use wrenches, that's for sure. Metric, standards, line wrenches and metrics and standards, stubbies for doing above transfer cases that are also swivel ratcheting, and the blue point also. I wish Snap-on did something like that. The blue points, they last okay, but the coating comes off after a while. Bigger wrenches for doing the alignments as well. Down to the next drawer. Some more test equipment. Fuel test stuff. I do a couple of things for Ford vehicles, so I've got some adapters for all the Ford vehicles there. Picked this up a couple of weeks ago. Extractor set. You'll be able to get those onto our standard sockets, and that's really nice to have. I've only ever broken one. I've used this kit like 10 times. And luckily enough, our rep replaced it, no problem. More extractors with reverse bits in there, and I know it doesn't say Snap-on, it says Matco. Kind of hurts, but I got a hell of a steal on it. It's like a mint set of tap and dies. Saved my ass a couple of times. Got my stuff at the bottom. Got the electric 3/8 drive. And that. Got serpentine belt tool, fan clutch tool, standard torque wrench, but the tech wrench one, that thing is by far the best. This thing, which is old, from the 1970s, power line pneumatics hog ring gun. Load your hog rings in here for doing seats and recovers. That's an amazing tool. I'm having a problem trying to find the inserts for them. I can only find like the larger ones, or the smaller ones, they don't fit. I need to find like the larger 3/4 inch ones. I don't know, maybe someday. And another tool that I just picked up a couple weeks ago, refrigerant leak detector. That thing is really accurate. It's able to find really small leaks. I like that tool a lot. Helped me figure out a newer Cherokee with a really tiny leak in the evaporator and dash, and almost a brand new Cherokee. Didn't say the work was fun doing it, but it at least helped me find it. Inner tie rod end remover, and then my Epic Series quote that I'm still waiting on because somebody can't sell this box yet. Kevin. But yeah, there it is. Everybody needs to get on my Snap-on rep trying to sell this box so I can buy my Epic. I want it. Flat black with gloss black. There it is. Paperwork. Use CDs and DVDs to be able to test things. Old junk keys. Guy comes around and collects those. Get a couple of bucks for here and there. A couple of other little tools. Stethoscope, pick tools that have fallen out of the case, reverse thread brake tool, hot glue gun of all things for doing some of the conversion van little trim bits. Yes, they do use hot glue. Allen keys, Snap-on tape measure. I don't know who spends $30 on a 12-foot tape measure, but that may or may not have been me. But lifetime warranty, because Snap-on. Infrared gun, $79 in the box. Boy, that's hot. Not. I'm hot. Couple of replacement parts for our conversion vans: LEDs, LED strips, switches, wiring bundles, clips, zip ties, odds and ends again. Down here in my last drawer, couple of clipboards with some more LEDs, plugs, older sockets for beating onto junk old lug nuts that are just too swelled up, a couple of test parts, throttle bodies, Ford parts, old charger. There we go. And now on to the power drawer. Dun dun dun. There we go. Big boy in slot number 1, PT850. Sexy. Tactical. It works awesome. 3/8. Nice. The most used electric tool I have. The 3/8. 14-4 line. A little bit older 14-4 line. Screw gun without the 2-speed top to it. That thing's been through the war. A little bit older 1/2-inch impact. Got the 1/4-inch and 3/8 electric ratchets, that of which I did the reviews on. And if you haven't checked that out, you need to go check that out. My 3/8 snap-on ratchet. I just had that rebuilt. It cost like $110, but awesome still. And the best light that, in my mind, Snap-on makes is this bad boy. I don't have a part number on that one, but I'm sure we can look it up later. But it swings out to have a long light there. LEDs super bright, and that's a magnet there, or you're able to fold that up, use it like a standard flashlight on the end. This battery lasts like all week. Best light that Snap-on makes, for me. 1/4-inch air ratchet. I love that these things have so many plugs, but I can't wait to get my Epic again because they updated these to have offset plugs, so you can put like 5 or 6 of these things plugged in. Only having 4 sucks. Chargers for my 14-4, my big 18, and my Milwaukee stuff, and Genius Boost GB70, one of the best battery jump packs there is. A couple other little odds and ends stuffed in there, charging cords. There we go. And then the little Mopar box. It is kind of a toolbox. Got some random screws and license plate stuff in there. Same thing, license plate screws. I really don't use this. It's more of a novelty kind of thing. And it's a fridge. Awesome having a fridge at work. I'll stick my head in here just a second. It's nice. So there's that, the main part of my box. Little add-on here is this cart that we just picked up here for the shop to hold a lot of our shop supply tools and scan tools. Normally have our tire pressure sensor tool in here, and then the Zeus. The Zeus scan tool is something that Snap-on has overdone themselves with. It's the best scan tool in my mind. We had a Ferris and a Solus before this, and the Zeus by far is able to do so many more things. Electrical stuff, pastimes for our current credit lot, wiring, speedometer calibrator, old school tire pressure sensor tools, speedometer calibrator, and battery tester. This little tool is great. Guys who don't know, the Cummins diesels, the newer ones, 2014 and newer, they made it a pain in the ass to do oil changes. The oil filter is in the worst spot ever. It makes the biggest mess. This little tool from Amazon costs like 12 bucks. Works great. Drop the oil filter, put this on top of the oil filter to be able to get it out without making a giant mess and pissing off a customer. Another A-Tech tire pressure tool. It's over there. Some random rattle can stuff for touching up. I don't know why that's in there. Who needs pink touch-up? It's in there though. The stupidest tire pressure sensor tool. Smart Sense, the stupid tire pressure sensors that you have to plug in to program. Whoever came up with that's ridiculous. DEF refractometer. Hate working with DEF. It's dirty, it's nasty. Whatever, delete that shit. And then old DRB2 fender covers, fluid pumps. There she is. Pulls that bad boy up. And that wraps up the tour. That's my buddy's box. It's just a wee baby. But there she is in all of her glory. Well guys, that wraps up another video here with the Rustbelt Mechanic. Glad you guys got a chance to stop by. Check out my toolbox, my awesome tools that I use literally on a daily basis. Big shout out to all my subscribers out there. I just cleared 200 subscribers. I think here pretty soon I might be doing a giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys keep on watching for my videos. This weekend I'm going to be going to a truck show up in Michigan, and you guys need to stay tuned for that for sure. It's going to be something awesome. Hit the like button, subscribe down below, turn on that little icon so you get notified when I come out with more awesome, great content for you guys. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys thought of my toolbox and maybe a couple of my other videos that have come out in the most recent months. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks. You guys stay classy.